So I read the Quran while I was in jail, and honestly, to say something positive, the Quran may have been cutting edge information 1200 years ago in the year 750. But when I read it in 2012, I noticed that there were no personal stories about the Prophet Muhammad. There are no reports about the path he took to attain his enlightenment. There are no parables, and there is nothing written about history. The Quran is basically an ongoing rant from Muhammad about his thoughts and concerns in Arabia in the 7th century. It may have helped Arabia at that time, but it does not provide many guidelines for me living in America in 2015. And I feel the same exact way about most of the Old Testament and most of the New Testament. To me, it's a lot of rambling that doesn't mean very much and certainly doesn't teach very much. So the last part of this lecture on the Muslim religion is about their secret society called the Sufis, S-U-F-I. So after all the wars take place, and the biggest threats to the cult are killed or silenced, then the next step of the cult is to move forward with their intellectual arm of the attack. So secret societies like the Sufis quietly invade countries, much like their boss does, who is the Roman Catholic Church. So the Sufis are something of a Muslim Freemasonic organization. And they promise insiders more information about the religion. They have references to artists and philosophers, and they basically convince you that the snake cult is really your best buddy. And that all the religions that they control, surprise, surprise, have the same inner teachings. So you could all relate to them. So the Sufi cult moves in with their temples and their hospitals and their charity fronts and entice the upper class of whatever country the snake cult is invading stealthily with promises of secret teachings for the chosen few. So I will quote a well-known encyclopedia on the internet. The rise of Islamic civilization coincides strongly with the spread of Sufi philosophy in Islam. The spread of Sufism has been considered a definitive factor in the spread of Islam and in the creation of Islamic cultures, especially in Africa and Asia. So here's another quote, which contains the very Catholic word pious. There are Pope Piuses, etc. So I quote, "Between the 13th and 16th centuries, Sufism produced an intellectual culture throughout the Islamic world, a golden age. In many places, a pious foundation would endow a lodge to provide a gathering place for Sufi adepts as well as lodging for seekers of knowledge. The same system of endowments could also pay for a complex of buildings, including a lodge for Sufi seekers, a hospice with kitchens, where these seekers could serve the poor and or complete a period of initiation, and a library and other structures. No important domain in the civilization of Islam remained uninfected by Sufism in this period." So this is the exact same thing that you'll hear about any Catholic church or Freemasonic order that moves into a foreign country. They don't want to take over and kill you. They're just there to help you. They have their hospitals and their charity groups. And they want to help the poor and set up soup kitchens. They don't want to take over your country and then systematically enslave and murder you all. They don't want to tie you to trees and light you on fire. They just want to help you all out. So when I discuss your religions, you all have to understand one thing. I may criticize your belief structure, but the worst that could come of this is a debate. And through debates, everyone learns new things because everyone shares ideas and experiences. So use your religions as a platform to expand your knowledge base. You don't have to throw all your religions out, but use them as a platform to elevate yourselves up from. The bottom line is that most of your religions are coming out of the ancient times and are recorded by very primitive people. And the remnants of these primitive people in the establishment, like the U.S. military, want you to fight and kill yourselves over your religious differences. So do not allow them to do this to you. Accept criticisms and new interpretations of your religions by individuals, and you will not be held like a slave. Understand that both your knowledge and your spiritual awareness will develop through the centuries. There will always be someone else with new ideas, and he or she may criticize your old belief system, but realize that the only people this will really threaten are those who use religion to control the rest of you instead of teach the rest of you.